local news, local weather, and local sports. On your side. Channel 2 News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, and we thank you for starting your Labor Day weekend with us tonight. I'm Andy Payton in for Claudine Ewing. Back to school is just around the corner, and tonight the owner of a local clothing shop is doing his part to give back to teachers in our area. 2 on your side, Danielle Church joins us now from the newsroom. Danielle, we understand St. Brian's is giving away free suits to educators?
Yeah, that's right, Andy. So this is the first time the shop has given away free suits to teachers, but it's not the first time they've given away free clothing to the community. Founder DeWitt Lee III is on a mission to make teachers' lives a little easier this school year with free suits, blazers, belts, you name it. Lee says a suit can cost hundreds of dollars, and oftentimes, he points out, teachers are already having to buy school supplies and other items for their classes. He wanted to take some of the burden away by providing free outfits at the Frank E. Meriwether Library. Lee adds when a teacher wears a suit, their students are more likely to see them in charge.
Really just want to support them in every way we can, but also, show them that this community cares about them, that this community is relying on them, and that anything that we can do and anything that they need, that this community has it already built into it, and they just need to get access to it.
St. Brian Clothiers is also here to help students. They have a program called I Promise to give free suits to teens heading to prom. And coming up at 11 tonight, we're also talking to some of those teachers who stopped by to grab a suit this afternoon. On your side in the newsroom, Danielle Church, Channel 2 News.
2 on your side's Danielle Church leading us off there tonight. Danielle, thank you. This Labor Day weekend, the Western New York community is taking time to honor those who were never properly welcomed home. The Black Lions putting on an event this weekend at Buffalo's Naval and Military Park to honor those that fought in the Vietnam War, displaying artifacts and even letting children try on gear, with the hopes of educating the younger generation about the war and the soldiers' legacies.
The Vietnam veterans are long overdue to be honored, represented, and what greater way to do so than to educate the public, especially other generations, and inspire other generations to read and learn about the Vietnam War, because we can't forget the sacrifices a lot of them made.
The exhibit will remain open tomorrow from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. and is free to the public. Out of the city tonight, the AfricanAmerican Veterans Arts and Culture Corporation gathering hundreds, marching and carrying banners in honor of AfricanAmerican veterans from multiple generations who they say haven't been remembered the way other veterans have.
When I started this whole program here, this 501c3, it was because we as African-American veterans have not getting our just due. Every time there's Veterans Day, Memorial Day, or anything like that, you don't see us, or you might see 1 or 2.
The organization also hosting what it calls a mini stand down for African-American veterans to provide a first point of contact to connect them with non-for-profits, employment and educational opportunities, and VA resources. Happening right now, the National Buffalo Wing Festival is underway at Highmark Stadium. Here's a live look over Orchard Park, where thousands of people are enjoying spices, sauces, and dry rubs from dozens of different vendors. If you plan on heading out tonight, Russell's Buffalo Buffet Bowl is happening in less than 30 minutes. Foodies will set out to compete in an eating competition featuring Western New York staples like wings, pizza, and roast beef. Wingfest continues until 9 p.m. tonight and tomorrow from noon until 7. On to some entertainment news. Beloved musician, mogul, and beach bum billionaire Jimmy Buffett has died. Overnight, a statement was posted on social media confirming the news. It says, quote, Jimmy passed away peacefully on the night of September 1st, surrounded by his family, friends, music, and dogs. He lived his life like a song till the very last breath and will be missed beyond measure by so many. NBC's Joe Fryer has more on the life and legacy the Margaritaville singer leaves behind.
Wasted away again in Margaritaville. For more than half a century, Jimmy Buffett lived what he sang about, proudly building a billion-dollar career around beach bum anthems like Margaritaville.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Cheeseburger in paradise.
And cheeseburger in paradise. More than a musician, Buffett embodied a lifestyle. The breezy slacker, happy to waste the day away, barefoot, frozen cocktail in hand. Born in Mississippi, Buffett would find his sound in the laid-back rhythms of Florida's Key West. A counterpoint to the so-called yuppie generation, Buffett's blend of tropical rock found a legion of fans known as parrot heads, flocking to his concerts en masse, dressed in Hawaiian shorts and flip-flops. A Jimmy Buffett song come to life.
I think everybody needs a little escapism. And, you know, a stockbroker or a hedge fund manager, you'd see people coming from work, taking their ties off and putting their Hawaiian shirts over their suits.
Over his career, Buffett sold more than 20 million albums. All that fun in the sun paid off, and not just in record sales. Buffett became a billion-dollar brand, opening Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville restaurants across the U.S., selling books, beers, real estate, popping up in movies, inspiring a Broadway show. All the while, he never lost his laid-back charm, revealing in 2018 his secret to having fun.
It's lucky to have this job. I think the older you get and do it, the more you appreciate it.
Buffett himself once said, "If there's a heaven for me, I'm sure it has a beach attached." Parrot heads the world over know that is the icon's paradise.
NBC's Joe Fryer there. I know our producer Jerian's wearing her Hawaiian shirt in his honor today, a true icon. And whether your drink of choice is a margarita or maybe just a cold beer, tonight we are celebrating the booziest fans in the NFL. A new survey by the British Gambler found that Buffalo Bills fans drink more alcohol than any other team in the league at 3.3 beverages per game on average. As for who is most likely to pregame, Bills fans surprisingly come in second place. And tonight we are just 9 days away from the start of the Bills season. If you're ready to shout, there's still time to hop on the bandwagon or boat. Tomorrow, the annual Buffalo Bills Mafia Boat Parade returns to Canal Side with vendors, live music, and drink specials. It's all to raise money for Oshai Children's Hospital ahead of the season opener on September 11th. Now let's check in with Two on Your Side sports director Jonathan Acosta for a look at sports tonight. Jonathan, UB was dealt quite a tough hand for week one, weren't they?
That's right, Andy, and we're going to get to the Bills in a second. But like you said, for college football fans, waking up today was like waking up on Christmas morning. Instead of presents being under the tree, we had our first full slate of games of the season. Week one finally here. And for UB, that meant a trip to Madison, Wisconsin to open up against the 19th ranked Wisconsin Badgers. UB giving Wisconsin all it could handle for a big part of this game in Camp Randall. The Badgers struck first on a first quarter TD run before the Bulls answered right back. A touchdown pass from Southwestern alum Cole Snyder to Cole Hannity for the 7-yard score to tie it up. Wisconsin retook the lead in the second quarter before UB's Alex McNulty nailed a 53-yard field goal for the Bulls to pull within 4. Ches Malusi, 89-yard TD run in the third for Wisconsin. That extended the Badgers' lead, and it stands at 21-10 as of last look. We'll have the highlights from this one tonight at 11. A week from Monday, we'll have the first Bills game of the season when they kick off at the Meadowlands against the Jets. One of the positions that remain a question mark going into that game is linebacker. And so to that extent, Brandon Beane addressed that area by bringing in Christian Kirksey this week to the practice squad. Kirksey, cut by Houston earlier in the week, has plenty of experience. He started all 17 games for the Texans last year and has played in 112 games overall in his 10 years in the league since coming in out of Iowa. At Iowa, he became best friends with current Bills safety Micah Hyde, and Hyde is excited to see what his friend, now teammate again, can bring to Buffalo.
Just his leadership, and I know him just playing with him in the past and seeing him throughout these years, working out with him for the last 10 years in the offseason. I know, he's obviously a smart football player, but plays downhill, sideline to sideline, and I'm excited to be on his back every single day. I'm gonna get the most out of him because it's kind of been a tough roller coaster for him these last couple years due to injuries, going to different teams and stuff like that. So. If anything, I'm gonna get the most out of him.
Kirksey was one of 2 practice squad additions late this week, along with quarterback Shane Buechele. And at the U.S. Open, Jessica Pegula in third-round action against Evina Svitolina this afternoon. This match just wrapped up a few moments ago. Pegula taking the win in 3 sets. She's now on to the round of 16 to face fellow American Madison Keys. And we'll show you how she did it tonight at 11. But that's it for now. I'm Jonathan Acosta, Channel 2 Sports.
And well, it was a bit of a cloudy day across western New York. We were telling you last night that the clouds were going to win out today. So that's unfortunately what happened. But we have more sunshine in place for the rest of the long weekend, and it's going to get really hot. So we've got a lot to track here, but take comfort in knowing that the sun will return. It will be a lot brighter once we get to tomorrow. And you don't have to wait very long. But, this was the trend over the last 5 days. We had a real temperature roller coaster. Remember, Wednesday was kind of miserable on Wednesdays. We had just a high of 67. But again, we started to warm back up. But as we look ahead to the next 5, temperatures solidly in the 80s, well above average, not what we're used to this time of year. And I do have some areas getting at 90 degrees as we head towards Tuesday and Wednesday, so that's for sure. But this hot air, this ridge is working its way in. It's kind of like pushing the jet stream up. It's kind of like if you have a balloon stuck up on the ceiling and you're trying to use a broom to get it down. Well, it doesn't move because you don't have enough height to kind of clear it. So it's just stuck there and it's just kind of floating at the top of the ceiling and it's just moving around. So that's what's going to happen until it breaks down. That's when, the room will get smaller and you have a better chance of kind of taking down that balloon. So that hot air is going to be with us for Tuesday and really until Wednesday before we have cooler air from the north starting to plunge in. So that will start to break down the heat as we head towards Thursday and Friday. But in terms of temperatures, I would say that, it's really going to be quite mild tonight. Overnight temperatures don't cool down all that much. I would say it's a little better in the southern tier. You're talking about the mid 60s, but not nearly as cool as we've had for the past few nights. But notice that temperatures in the southern tier at 11:30, close to midnight, will still be in the mid 60s, the low 70s right by the lake. And that means if you are, if you haven't turned on the fan or the air conditioner already, you probably will during the overnight. Then we head into early Sunday morning. Notice that we will have some fog setting up for areas south of the city and the southern tier as well. But again, it's really, really muggy as we go into Sunday morning. If you're walking the dog early, you're definitely going to notice that sticky feeling once you walk outside. You might break a sweat right away. But as we take you towards the afternoon, temperatures will start to warm up. We'll get close to 80 by lunchtime, but I would say most areas solidly into the 80s. I'd say the further north you go on the Niagara frontier. So I would say for Lewiston, over towards Middleport, Lockport, over towards Albion, Lyndonville, Medina, along the Niagara frontier, you're into the upper 80s, and even Buffalo closing in on 85. This might be just a little bit ambitious in terms of the temperatures right by the lake, because of the wind, keeping it a bit on the warmer side. So we'll have to watch this. I have us pegged a little bit cooler, but as we go into Sunday night, notice that the temperatures don't cool down all that much. Again, we take you to almost midnight on Sunday, and we're still in the mid 70s. So that sticky feeling is back, but future look, well, this thing doesn't have much to show us at all because it is going to be dry. We go into Sunday, it's wall-to-wall sunshine. We'll have a few high thin clouds, nothing like what we had today. So that's an improvement again. But once we get into Sunday evening, there will be a little cloud cover returning. So that also kind of is like putting a lid on how cool it can get because warm air can't escape out of the atmosphere. So as we head towards Monday, again, lots of sunshine. We'll start with some clouds. We'll get rid of it. But Monday also looking really nice. But Monday gets even warmer. In terms of those winds, you noticed it today. Maybe your curtains were waving at home, or you were outside and you were trying to eat a wing and have a napkin in your other hand. Well, good luck. That was probably a losing battle. But as we head towards Sunday, I would say the winds will start to pick up once again during the afternoon. After about 12 o'clock, that's when those winds will start to really ramp up. Again, winds could gust up to about 30 miles an hour. So very similar to today's setup. And those winds will start to kind of shift a direction a little bit, more of a southerly flow that pumps in that warmer air to start on Monday and then shifting to the west. So that keeps areas right by the lake a little bit cooler. Athol Springs as you head down towards Angola, Derby, Irving, over towards Silver Creek. Again, temperatures there may be a couple degrees cooler, but even on Monday itself, it's still pretty breezy. So your Labor Day barbecues, again, it will be, or Labor Day parades, those are going to be quite breezy as well. So just plan ahead for that. But, the big story here is the humidity, and it is going to be really, really sticky. So once these numbers get into the 60s, it's really just kind of that muggy feel, that air you can wear sensation. But once you go into the overnight, you'd like these numbers to go down, not up. So this is going in the wrong direction, but we'll have humidity really peaking. I think Sunday is probably when you will have that sensation that it's like you're in a sauna throughout the entire day. Look at the deep green that you see there, and it really is just with us. This humidity does not break as we head towards Monday either, and watch as Monday is actually even more humid. Could you believe it? And as we take you to Monday, look at that. I mean, it is just going to be so sticky, and we're expecting fog as we head in towards Monday night too. So lots of considerations. And I would say for back to school on Tuesday, again, if you are in the southern tier, you want to give yourself a little extra time because it will be pretty foggy there. But Tuesday, another sticky day as well. We have our school bus forecast for Tuesday because as the kids head back to school, it's going to be warm to start, but don't dress them for the morning. You want to dress them for the temperatures in the afternoon because on Tuesday they'll be close to 90 degrees by the time the kids are coming home. So it's going to be really warm out there. But here's your 7-day forecast. So again, I'd say it's beautiful sunshine for Sunday. Temperatures, I still think that wind keeps Buffalo just a couple degrees cooler. For areas in the Niagara Frontier, I do suspect you will be a little warmer there. So Monday, again, still warm, but some people like it that warm. So we'll have beautiful conditions, but then gets really hot for Tuesday and Wednesday. Again, the Niagara Frontier has a run at 90 degrees. I suspect we'll get close to it too out at the airport, but then we have a chance for rain coming in on Thursday. Cooler air arrives for the end of the week. So this is a short-lived stretch, but it's definitely out of place because well, it shouldn't be happening this time of year, but we do have sunshine again for the south towns in the southern tier. Again, warmer on Monday, but then the heat really builds for Tuesday and for Wednesday as well. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. So really feeling temperatures that will be close to 90 as we go towards the middle of the week, but cooler air will arrive as we head towards next weekend. Thanks for tuning in.